Tom Brady to the San Francisco 49ers. That's the latest rumor. I feel like that's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. We're going to discuss that because I'm told I have to. Also, what does that mean for Trey Lance and his development? And then the 49ers, they actually have a football game. We got to talk about the rumors all the time. They got a football game. They're playing the LA Chargers. We're going to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Chargers, what's going on with them, some injuries, things like that, all that and more right here on San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And of course, as always, this show is sponsored, powered, brought to you by the good folks over at Underdog Fantasy. Let's go. You see I got the hat on, you know what I'm saying? You see the logo right there. Let's go. If you haven't already, and I feel like everybody's on Underdog Fantasy right now, you want to try to make you some money, you know, looking at some of these player props and all that good stuff, higher, lowers, fantasy sports, football, baseball, basketball. You want to make things a little bit more interesting, spice it up a little bit. Why was I watching the Baltimore Ravens against whoever they played last night, the New Orleans Saints? Not to watch Andy Dalton. It's to check on my plays from Underdog Fantasy. Download the app or go to underdogfantasy.com right now. When you use promo code Crocky, they will double your deposit up to $100. All right, go do that right now. I have a lot of fun doing Underdog Fantasy. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody is good. I hope everybody's having a blessed morning. I'm doing good. Been up early. I wake up around 4:30. I train a woman, and I'm starting to build up my adult fitness class for the business. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. Frontline Sports Performance. I think I'm about to have some more merchandise, some Frontline Sports Performance hats. Got one hat right here. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You feel me? But I think really what I need, though, is, and I have different colors, I need the 49ers themed Frontline Sports gear. All right, so we're going to get the Frontline Sports 49er themed stuff, jumping off the gold, the red, maybe it say faithful on the side, man. We're going to get all that jumping off. All right, quick mental check. Make sure everybody's doing really good. We got Rocky Mountain Razorback. What up to my Arkansonian brother? All right, SF Bay Drummer. What up? Scott Alexander, Damon. Let's go, Mike. Let's go. Now, is this Nothing But Niner Pineapple? NBN Pineapple? Let's go. Shout out to the Nothing But Niner gang. Shout out to my guy Mike holding it down over there and all the good folks over there. All right. And all the other 49er platforms, man. 49ers represent strong on YouTube, social media, man. Strong network. Shout out to all of those people, man. And it's good going to some of the games and running into a lot of those people, man. All the different content creators and whatnot. Move this there. There we go. All the different content creators, man. Everybody makes it a lot of fun. But let's get into it, man. And I started off, with the intro talking about it. It's crazy, man. When I created this show, started this, really y'all kind of created it. I went live one time. Y'all hopped on. I'm like, y'all want me to come on tomorrow? Y'all were like, yeah. And then I went on that day. And then I was like, y'all want me to come on again tomorrow? Y'all like, yeah. So y'all really kind of created this show. And initially it's just, let's just talk football, right? And it's crazy because like the comments and things like that, and it's like, man, I just want to talk football. Somebody uses a big ass word. I had to Google what it meant. He was like, oh, you're being disingenuous. And I'm like, disingenuous? What does that even mean? I had to Google it. Yeah, it's not like I'm like stupid or something, but I don't know. I had to Google it. Anyways, I just want to talk football. All right, just want to talk football. And I don't care to talk about rumors and things that are just not even speculation. It's like a made up, I don't want to call it fantasy because technically it could come true, but it's like, oh man, 49ers should get Tom Brady. And then it's like, all right, Croc, you got to talk about it. And that was one of my guys. I have I don't want to say a producer, but I have somebody that gives me topics sometimes, right? And this was one of them. He was just like, hey, you got to talk about Tom Brady and what that would mean for Trey Lance. I'm like, Tom Brady, is that what people are talking about? I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. So what I mean by that, like my days really busy. So in between things I'm doing, I might, kind of poke my head in and kind of see what people are doing. Maybe I'll fire off a tweet or whatever, see the first thing that pops up, but I'm not like super, just super engaged with everything that goes on Twitter. So I had no idea that this Tom Brady to the 49ers thing is a real thing. Is it a real thing? I mean, y'all in the chat, let me know. But I'll give my thoughts since I was told I kind of have to. Tom Brady, I thought he was done. So what was that? 2000. It was after the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, so 2019 season. So his 2019 season, I'm not going to lie, I thought Tom Brady was done. I watched him in New England, and you could say maybe the weapons, right? He had gotten to kill Harry. Maybe Amendola wasn't the same. He had some injuries at the receiver position. I think they had Muhammad Sanu, whatever. But you could say, you know what? He didn't have the weapons. He didn't have the help. So that's why he looked the way he did. But I think it would be easy to just say, well, when you are 43 years old, or however old he was at that time, I think we could blame it on other things, but maybe he's just getting old. Well, we found out that wasn't really the case, right? I mean, he continued to play, went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. They had tremendous defense, offense cooking, got weapons. Antonio Brown, business was booming, call God, all that good stuff. And you watch Brady, and I'm like, well, maybe he isn't done. And then you start to figure out, like, ask yourself, well, the 49ers wrong to not go after him? I'd say this. The 49ers, we can justify all the decisions that the 49ers have made. Obviously in hindsight, you could say whether they maybe miscalculated something or not, you can definitely go that route. And I would say at the end of the day, the results say, well, yeah, you were, 49ers, you were kind of wrong, right? Which is how you went about it. At the moment, I agreed, and I understand why you did it, but Tom Brady went to the Super Bowl, won, and you could also say 2020 49ers were banged up, one of the most hurt teams since 2000 or something like that. So you could also say, well, maybe he wouldn't have done the same thing with the 49ers roster because it was decimated with injuries. All right, but nonetheless, you kept Jimmy Garoppolo. He got hurt, played that season. He played like 6 games or whatever. Debo was hurt. Kittle got hurt. Everybody was hurt. It was bad. And that made people ask the question: should they have? And I see the super chat. I'm gonna start that real quick. But should the 49ers have went after Tom Brady? And I would say, in hindsight, which hindsight's like what they say, hindsight's 2020. In hindsight, yeah, my homeboy Malik, his wife she's very attractive. And he put on Instagram today, man, he put kind of charges from his credit card. And it was all kind of health and beauty stuff from his wife. And he's like, man, in hindsight, I should have married somebody ugly because my wife is running this tab up, right? And, but it's funny, right? He's like, hindsight's 2020, and he's joking, I'm sure, I think. But in hindsight 2020, yeah, 49ers, man, should have got Tom Brady. I think at the time, though, it did look like Tom Brady was kind of declining. Again, maybe it was the injuries, receivers, not enough weapons, whatever the case is. It looked bad. He goes on to Tampa. He won the Super Bowl. This time around, Tom Brady will be 46 years old. All right. Tom Brady will be 46 years old if the 49ers get him next year. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, 49ers going to get Tom Brady. In my opinion, that it sounds wild, right? When you say it out loud. I remember saying things out loud a week or so ago when you just talk about the weapons that the 49ers have, right? When you say it out loud, the 49ers have George Kittle, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey now, Kyle Juszczyk, right? Just all these guys. Elijah Mitchell when he's back, which he's back now. Shout out to Elijah Mitchell. See, we're talking about Tom Brady. We should be talking about Elijah Mitchell, but we're talking about Tom Brady. But anyways, you say it out loud, and it's like, man, a lot of weapons. You say it out loud, Tom Brady, 46 years old. That is, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's old. So when I hear people say, 49ers need to go get Tom Brady. Yeah. Is he declining? A little bit. Again, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'll say this about what I've seen from Tom Brady, and this is not punching down or pushing down on Tom Brady to prop up anybody else. I listen, I really don't give a damn. All right. But I watched Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it was amazing. It was awesome watching Tom Brady on that final drive. I would say for a majority of this season, their offense has not been very good. Matter of fact, I have the numbers. Scoring the offense, they are, 24th, I think? 24th in scoring offense right now. So it's not great. Now, he has had injuries. There was a game, I remember one game for sure where they played without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin, without Julio Jones. And I'm like, who is he throwing the ball to? I don't know, right? So there was that. But outside of that, and some injuries here and there, which everybody deals with, right? 49ers just played again without Deebo Samuel. I don't think that we're seeing the Tom Brady that we think of in our head. I think there's like this in our head is, well, Tom Brady will never get old. He'll never die, right? He's like Michael Myers. I just watched a Michael Myers movie, and it made me upset that I saw Michael Myers get punked for his mask, right? Like who punks Michael Myers? Now somebody was like, well, Croc, when he's not killing, killing gives him that strength, which I kind of noticed that. I didn't know if that's what they were trying to portray in the movie, but Michael Myers doesn't get punked. Like, it's Michael Myers. And somebody was like, well, Michael Myers is old now, Croc. Michael Myers is old. And is Tom Brady, right? Like, is Tom Brady we're seeing a decline in the offense. Is Tom Brady is he just getting a little old? And if Tom Brady is getting a little old, what version of him are you getting in the sense of catapulting your team to the top next year? Not even the rest of this year, right? He's going to continue to take a beating on the field. He's going to continue to deal with the stuff, family issues and stuff off the field. Not even this year. Like next year, 46 years old. What version of Tom Brady? Now listen, I'm just throwing this out there, y'all. I'm just throwing this out there. I see no spoiler alert. Hey, listen, if you ain't watched the Halloween Ends, that's on you. It's been out for like 4 weeks now. All right. And I ain't really give away too much, but Tom Brady did get punked in the tunnel. Y'all remember when I'm Mean Joe Grizzly? Remember Big Mean Joe Grizzly? And he stood up and he's looking at Michael Myers' eye level. He's looking at Michael Myers in the eyes, like, man, you better get the fuck away from me. Then Michael Myers like muscles him. So if Mean Joe Grizzly beats up Michael Myers, Michael Myers kills Joe Grizzly, like, man, how you let the little white dude punk you in the tunnel? It's just wild. He punked Michael Myers, bro. He punked him. Michael Myers weak in the hood. All right, anyways, getting off on a tangent. I love Michael Myers, by the way. But I'm still scared of him to this day. I keep like guns on me and stuff because I'm scared of Michael Myers. All right, but anyways, back to Tom Brady. Is there a chance that Tom Brady, this is just a thought, is there a chance that Tom Brady doesn't make the 49ers better? Now listen, y'all can answer. I'm just asking the question. I'm just putting the question out there. Do you think there's a scenario where 46-year-old Tom Brady does not make the 49ers better? In the sense of like what the ultimate goal is, right? Because if you go and get Tom Brady and you push off, and again, we'll get to Trey Lance, but you push that off for another year, it's Super Bowl. So are we saying 46-year-old Tom Brady will take the 49ers to the Super Bowl? I didn't know this was a thing, y'all. So a lot of y'all filtering in right now, 200 of y'all watching, like button, subscribe button. I didn't know this was a thing, but I'm being told everybody's talking about Tom Brady to the 49ers. And I don't know. I don't know what to think. I watched Tom Brady, I think now it's just like, it's Tom Brady. Like, he's cool. He's cool. He looks very upset. The Tom Brady I've been watching, he looks pretty upset. He's not very happy. Like, if you just watch the games, he's upset. He's yelling all the time. He's stomping around. Doesn't look like he's having any fun. He's missing throws. Like, he is missing throws, but he's also having a ton of drops. Well, the drops ain't going to stop because 49 receivers drop hella passes too. All right. But does he make the 49ers better? Or not does he not make the 49ers better? does he make them better to the point where with 46-year-old Tom Brady and everything else he got going on, you are like, I'm winning the Super Bowl? All right. So that's the first question I'm going to put out there. I'm also going to put, I see my guy Pioneer, he said, man, where's the link? All right, we're going to put the link in the chat right now. The other side of this, and we didn't even get to the Chargers stuff. Hopefully we get to talk about the Chargers. The other side of this is, what does it mean for Trey Lance? I have a question for you. Damn, I'm asking all these damn questions, right? And I'm looking in the chat, so hopefully y'all can, that's why I'm looking down, because I want to talk to y'all there, but I'm looking in the chat. All right, but I have another question for y'all. Right now, and you can answer in the chat. And I got a few people clicking in right now. Y'all got let me get my thoughts off real quick. But right now, if you're like, all right, I can have Tom Brady for the rest of the year. All right, I'm giving you 49er fans. I want to see it in the chat. Right now. No, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring on a Tom Brady fan. Chris, right now.
No, I want to hear Pioneer. Get Pioneer on. I want to hear him.
Pioneer ain't come on yet. But I'm going to ask you. And then I can see you backstage or whatever. But right now, you got a choice. You got Tom Brady for the rest of the year, and we'll just say this season. For the rest of this season right now, you can have Tom Brady or you can have Jalen Hurts. Who are you taking? For your 49ers.
I'm going to take Tom Brady.
Okay, well, let's see what Pioneer says, because Pioneer clicked in. Pioneer, rest of the season, you can have Tom Brady on your 49ers or you can have Jalen Hurts. Who are you taking?
Did you hear me?
Pioneer. Yeah. Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't actually. What do you say?
You can have Tom Brady for the rest of the season or Jalen Hurts for the rest of the season. Who are you taking?
Only this season right here?
Rest of the season.
I'd rather have Tom over Jalen. That's
Okay.
just me, though.
And I see somebody in the chat say, where's it at? Here we go. Hurts played horrible in the playoffs, right? Now, there could be a scenario of, well, Hurts, it was his first time in the playoffs. It was his first season starting. Like, has he improved? Do you think that Jalen Hurts has improved? And Pioneer, Roscoe's, either one of y'all can answer this. Do y'all think that Hurts has improved from last year?
I think
like
sure.
Whatever Jalen Hurts we saw in the playoffs, is it the same version of him this year?
No, he improved tremendously.
No,
as
we
a passer.
act like Jalen Hurts been to the playoffs 10 times or something. Like, no. Like,
Yeah,
you got to give him time to get better too. I think he has been better, specifically in that system. I think, obviously, athletically he can do it all, but as a thrower, I still don't like some of the throws that he does. I think that he has improved as a thrower. It just sometimes it feels like, if they can't get it going in the run game and the defense doesn't play too stellar and Nick Sirianni and everything, I don't know. Just feels like it's too early to tell. I like him though. I like him in that system. Pretty cool.
All right, so watching Tom Brady, you're like, you know what? This version of Tom Brady, like, nah, he can get it done.
Listen. The NFC is so damn weak that Tom Brady with us could work this season. Yes, because I think it's going to end up either being us and the Eagles in the championship game, or it's going to be us and the Bucks. So one of the two. And I think that with Tom, it's like, yeah, you'll do good with us, but it's like the NFC is nothing to really be proud of right now. The thing is, for me, I really think the AFC is the Super Bowl. The AFC championship game is the Super Bowl. And that's just how I feel about it. Now, I feel like this regime's going to fail. I don't want it to. I just feel like if Kyle can't do the simplest things, then why even buy into him now? It's been the 6th year and he can't even decide how to develop Trey Lance. We got to sit here and talk about Tom Brady as a 46-year-old. Like, it gets really, really annoying.
So, okay, not you know what I'm saying? You got something on your chest. This is the forum to get it off your chest. And Pioneer, I know you do not hold back. So let us hear it. Like, just dig a little deeper there.
Well, I think that, everybody just, I think that a lot of people are homers for this organization. And it's like, every time, let's just say like the Rams, right? I told my buddy this, that the Rams are like that Coke bump that you get at a party, okay? When
Wait,
you're
what?
starting to get
Wait, what'd
sleepy,
you
when
say?
you're starting to doze off, you get that little bump and you're going to wake up and you're going to feel alive and everything. That's
I've never done
exactly
coke
what the
before.
Rams are for the Niners. And I feel like every time we beat the Rams, there's this juice that goes around within the fan base that we start to say, oh, now we're going to start to wake up. Now we're going to start to go to the Super Bowl. Then we sound like Cowboy fans, okay? Because we still have 5 rings, even though every season we don't get it done. And we sort of are like Cowboy fans to other fan bases. Not saying that we are, but it's saying that, when are we going to get this ring and stop saying we're going to get it every year? When are we going to start putting more fire under Kyle Shanahan's ass and fucking, make him get it for us? It feels like everybody coddles him. It feels like, Jimmy G gets a lot of excuses from other people. But, I feel like we're a really good team, and we are very lucky to be in the NFC because the NFC is garbage this year.
Yeah, we gotta. You be at the parties doing coke and stuff?
No. We all typically, well, I don't know if you ever been to parties and stuff like that, but we all know that, the cocaine bumps is what wakes us up. So.
I'm not gonna lie. I go to parties, but the coke bump has never been part of my regiment at the party.
Neither am I. I never did drugs. I never drank.
Oh, okay. So, but you just know, okay, people they go to parties, they do the little coke bump.
Yeah. I was only the driver because I'm lame.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think it means you're lame because you don't do the coke bump.
Yeah, I'm really religious. I just don't. I just don't hang out with religious people.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. All right. So yeah, I appreciate you holding the organization accountable. I think everyone that's in here is, we're all. And somebody said, not even one. I have never. The only drug I've ever done is I've smoked a little weed, and I realized after the third time, I guess I don't know if you could try something 3 times, but after the third time trying it, I'm like, this is just not my thing. So I'll drink alcohol, but I ain't never. But you talk about waking up. Maybe I was just in the club in Atlanta and I fell asleep in the strip club. So I mean, that's maybe I should have did the. I don't know. I just never thought to do a coke bump. I just never will. But anyways, regardless of that's neither nor here nor there. What are your thoughts? Actually, Roscoe, let's get your thoughts because we haven't got your thoughts on this whole situation. I mean, you're the one that gave me this topic. So people I saw somebody in here we're talking about Tom Brady. Yes, we're talking about Tom Brady because I guess that's what they're talking about on Twitter. So you are a Tom Brady fan, Chris. Your thoughts? 46-year-old Tom Brady. Do you like it?
See, Pydor knows I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan, Tom Brady stan, but I don't want him on the Niners next year. I want Trey Lance. I mean, you got to let Trey Lance develop. At first, it'll look super bad on Kyle Shanahan if he goes in and gets to the quarterback and basically says, yeah, I made a mistake drafting Trey Lance. Something went wrong. I mean, it would just admit that something went wrong, and it's just a bad look. And then you basically would just kill the kid's confidence, and he hasn't even had an opportunity to really prove himself. So why would you go get a quarterback and you don't even know what you have in Trey Lance yet? I mean, you can have one of the and just imagine what this fan base would do. Listen, bro, I know Jordan put it on Twitter. Again, a couple of reporters actually put it on Twitter saying that the 49ers may be in on Tom Brady. I put the 49er fans really want a 46-year-old on their roster, a 46-year-old quarterback on their roster. I've got over 100 responses, and I'm telling you, people, actually probably more than that, but Brady, he's this, he's that, he's an outlier. We're talking about Tom Brady. I'm like, oh, so it's just so easy how wishy-washy this fan base is, where they just, oh yeah, let's just throw Trey Lance in the dumpster. It's all Brady now. I mean, this fan base is so wishy-washy. They want to get rid of Jimmy G, right? But then and they wanted to get rid of Jimmy G and Trey Lance this, Trey Lance that. Now, oh yeah, we could throw Trey Lance into the dirt because we were gonna get Tom Brady, a 46-year-old. And then the person who said, oh, Jalen Hurts lost in a play, like, bro, really? Like, I don't know if the person's a casual or something, but That's one playoff game. He played one playoff game. One. That was his first one. His first full year starting. Like, oh, he played bad in the play. Come on, man. But yeah, so and I do have to push back. I mean the NFC is not great, but and I was pushing back against in spaces yesterday with this is that like my guy Nate says no matter what, even if we make it to the Super Bowl, we're gonna lose to the Chiefs or Bills. And I'm like, bro, first off, a second time around, you don't know what the Niners can do. I can tell you this: the second time around, the Bengals faced the Chiefs, shut them down. Second time, the Buccaneers.
Yeah, they beat them the first time and the second time, but
yeah, but the second time, I mean, the first time it was a high scoring game, right? Second time, they only allowed like 20 something points. The Bucks, remember, they gave up 200 yards in one quarter to Tyreek Hill. Second time around, what happened? The Chiefs put up like 3 points. So when you play the Chiefs the second time, there is a chance on stopping them. Like to automatically assume that they're just the Bills or the Chiefs is going. The Bills don't have a running game. They don't have a running game, and they got handled by the Jets this past week. And I thought the Titans played extremely well against the Chiefs. There are ways to beat those teams. Those teams are not just oh yeah, they're gonna automatically make it and win the Super Bowl. No, I mean I disagree that the AFC is the real Super Bowl. No, it's not. I believe in our defense, especially when we get Kinlaw and Armstead back, which our defense was dang near putting up historic numbers the first couple of games of the season. So if we get Armstead back and Kinlaw, teams are it's gonna be very hard for teams to score against us.
See,
right.
the thing about the AFC, right?
Brady.
It's like with the Niners, like it's not our second time playing them. It's like it's around our fourth time playing them with Kyle Shanahan and this quarterback and this, everything, right? And for me, it's like, last time we played them, they made Nick Bosa look just embarrassing. Am I supposed to expect that Mosley being out doesn't have an effect to our defense when we play them next time going around? And Andy Reid is the kind of guy that could look at our defense and make us look stupid. I mean, he obviously did last time. Not saying that we're just going to just lay over and it's going to be a blowout, but I'm saying like overall, and even when they face the Titans, you know how physical the Titans are, and look what they did to them last week. We're going to sit here and say that we could beat them just because I'm a fan of the Niners. It sounds a little homerish to just say that we can win. Don't be negative. And it's like, I'm not even being negative. I'm just going based off of our history with Jimmy in a Super Bowl with Kyle. It just doesn't make sense for me to just say that we could just win. And, you better hope that Kinlaw doesn't come back. Like, what is Kinlaw going to do with that leg? We're expecting him to come back just because I'm a fan.
I didn't say Kinlaw.
That's where
hey,
I'm
hold
just
on,
like,
hold
I'm
on.
done off the
Kinlaw
stuff. And he needs the better.
If you ever watched this, that was Pioneer.
That team.
That was not Eric Crocker.
Wait, but hold on. Because we got to retract.
Hold on, no, real quick. Y'all are getting off on this whole different topic, and I got like 7 people waiting right now to come up here.
Okay, well, I'm no on Tom Brady. That's all. I'm no on Tom Brady.
Okay, no on Tom Brady, 46-year-old. You're like, no, I'm cool. Pioneer, what about you?
Well, I mean, he is a check down king right now. I think that Tom Brady can do enough. He could have lost that last game too, by the way. But luckily, his defense did him justice, and he got the second opportunity and he got it done. But for me, I would say yes now, but not next year. I could assume that he would decline next year.
All right. Appreciate y'all coming on.
All right, thanks, Croc.
All right, about to get to the next caller. Somebody said, Crockett don't want to get his hat slapped. Hey, listen, Kinlaw, don't slap my hat off. All right, I don't want no problems. Your nuts are bigger than mine. All right, I don't want no problems. Get to some of these super chats I got here. What's good, Croc? I love the show, brother. What do you think of our cornerback situation? I think Jason Verrett will come through Thursday. Team up good with Ward and Lenore. All right, so just in general, cornerback situation, and appreciate the contribution, and hopefully you're still on. And it's been a while since you posted this, but I don't think it's bad. I think the one thing that 49ers desperately need is, pass rush. And I say desperately, I just mean we watched the 49ers last year with Josh Norman and Ambry Thomas and whoever else, right? And they were able to not completely just lose you games. So I think from that standpoint, if you just have a pass rusher that can, or multiple pass rushers that can get to the quarterback. It's not that it doesn't matter who's on the back end, but I think you're in good hands with, Lenore, Travarius Ward, Jimmy Ward, Hufanga, Gibson, all these other guys. Now, if you have any more injuries, then things can get a little weird. Hopefully, Verrett can come in and be the Verrett that he was pre-injury. And we've seen him be able to do that before. Thought he was terrific coming off of an injury in 2020. Can he potentially get back to that? All right. So a lot of ifs and can he, but I'd say you should be in good hands because typically they are generating pressure on quarterbacks. Just showing love from Fresno. Shout out to the 559. I appreciate the contribution. We got Keith Murray here. So 43 sounds wild. 46 is absolutely nuts. It is nuts. And I saw somebody say it might be an outlier with how old Tom Brady is. He's just hella old, but he's still playing well. He's still playing well to the point where this is at the very least a conversation. So he's doing something right. And Keith, again, with the contribution, he says, unlike the Cowboys, we make deep playoff runs consistently while they flame out. We've been to 2 Super Bowls in the past decade. We have 2 Super Bowls and 5 NFC championship games. When you say that over the last 10 years, it sounds kind of wild, but because there were so many, there were the lows. But yeah. All right, I didn't even get to talk about the Trey Lance side of things, right? We didn't even get into that. What does this mean for Trey Lance? So I'll be quick with this because that's where I was headed. And I see a super chat here. McGill says, Tom Brady now and Trey Lance next season. Well, Tom Brady not coming now. If he's coming, it would be next season. All right. The Trey Lance side of things. This is just my opinion, and not because if Trey Lance sucks, I'd have to admit that I was wrong. All right, I will come on here and publicly do that. Not that anybody cares, or maybe actually there are some people that, it's like, Croc, you were wrong. All right, but anyways, I just personally believe in player development. And I talked about it maybe yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, how, I remember, watching my Lakers. I have my, I got the Lakers shirt on, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Got the Laker flag, you know what I'm saying? We out here, right? And I just remember watching my Lakers, and you have Lonzo, and, eventually you have, D'Angelo Russell before that, and you had Jordan Clarkson, and you have Josh Hart, and you got Brandon Ingram, and you got Kyle Kuzma, and you got all these young players, and it's like, nah. Forget those young players. Get LeBron James in here right now. Got to win the championship. And you did win the COVID championship. You won the Mickey Mouse trophy. All right. It count. Probably looked like this or something. I don't know. But it counted. All right. So you got the Mickey Mouse trophy. Awesome. Whatever. And it's gone to shits ever since. Lakers are terrible right now. They go in the games, and I'm like, that's a loss. That's a loss. They played Utah last night. That's a loss, right? And the way my mind works, I really like watching players' development. I believe in player development. I believe that if you maybe take the Warriors approach, right? Y'all remember, Warrior fans, we all know what the Warriors are right now. But Warrior fans, I know y'all remember, Warriors were not good. Steph Curry was breaking ankles left and right. And when I say breaking ankles, I'm not talking about crossing people over. I'm talking about his own ankles. That's why he wears some big-ass ankle braces now, right? There had to be a certain level of patience, even with those guys. And I'm not saying you want to wait as long as maybe it took with Curry, because maybe 49ers team is a little better right now. But where's the patience? Where's the patience with just, all right, the kid needs to play, he needs to get out there. Now, the injury thing, it does suck. Maybe get a better backup. I don't know. You got to get backup this year, maybe another one next year. Whatever you got to do, that's whatever. But as far as bringing somebody in to be like, hey, we're going to bring you in so Trey Lance, you sit. I'm not doing that. It could just be me. I could just be naive. But I just believe in player development. The same people I remember this year. I mean, really, it's all the same people that say all these other guys is trash. Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his name. Trash, can't play. Jalen Hurts. There were people like Jalen Hurts. He wasn't bad last year, man. Went to play. Okay, they got dogged by Tampa Bay. Man, he's young. That's his first start. They're like, Jalen Hurts, get him out of here. That's how impatient people are. What are they now? 8-0 or whatever they are to start the season. Whatever they are. Josh Allen, get him out of here. He's trash. They waited 3 years, but you start, okay. And I'm not saying you got to be Josh Allen. We've seen certain different levels. Dak Prescott, year 2 Dak Prescott was not good. Very up and down, struggled to throw for 200 yards in the game. Be patient with him. Now you can count on him to throw 60 times in the game. That wasn't the case early on. But everybody wants everything just so much right now. And I just strongly believe you got to go through the ups and downs. You got to go through it. Justin Fields, he hasn't been perfect. They have one of the worst passing offenses in the league. But you see the flashes, see what he potentially could be. And I say, you know what? In the next 2 years, Justin Fields might be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But a lot of y'all wouldn't know it because y'all have been benched to him. Said he's trash. We won't play him. It is so crazy to me. And this is not Trey Lance, please. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Isaiah here. And he's an Eagle fan. So, okay. Lance is not Hurts or Allen. You know what? He's not. Because everybody and their mama thought Hurts was a running back. They thought Jalen Hurts was a running back. He could barely throw. Even coming out of Oklahoma where they simplified everything for him, he gets drafted. It's like, we got to just run the ball. He can't really throw. It's like, his arm isn't strong. He had all these issues. But you know what he does have? And he's got it up here and he's got it in here. And he worked hard to overcome all those things. And now, look where he's at. He's not perfect. Jalen Hurts is not perfect, Isaiah. Jalen Hurts is not perfect. But he's improving, and I believe that he will continue to get better. I think he'll continue to get better, and that's scary, right? Because if he's able to lead a team right now that's undefeated, man, he keep getting better. Like, what are we talking about? What type of quarterback? But I say that to say, like, man, we got to give these people time. People try to rush it with Hurts. He got benched for Nate Sudfeld. Don't tell me it was because they were trying to tank or whatever. No, that's not why he got benched. He got benched because he was playing piss poor. For Nate Sudfeld. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say I get it. Everybody wants that instant right now. Okay, right now. But it's like, dude, let's be patient. I can't speak for everybody, but I know for me, the best things that have come to me in life have come from me being very patient. When I wanted something, it's like, I want it right now. No, you're not ready for it right now. Be patient. It'll come. Bring in 46-year-old Tom Brady. I don't know. That's just not. But I don't run a team. I just live here in Arkansas. If Kyle can't develop Lance, he should never be able to pick, I'm assuming, another quarterback for the rest of his coaching career. I would say this. Kyle Shanahan, and this is what we know, right? This is not a Kyle Trey Lance type thing or whatever, but he is very stubborn, and I think his stubbornness is, I don't even think it's about picking the player or court. I don't even think it's that. It's just what goes into getting the player to where you want him to be. And what I would assume the necessary steps to getting there. And I think that's what he struggles with. So I don't think it's so much the quarterback. I think it's what it takes, what you have to go through. What Jalen Hurts had to go through, getting benched for Nate Sudfeld. What Josh Allen had to go through, being a 50% passer, completion, throwing all over the place, super erratic. What Dak Prescott had to go through, barely being able to throw for 200 yards in games. Injuries. I think it's like having to go through that, Kyle's like, fuck no. That's what I think it is. All right, I got a lot of people waiting. I apologize. What we're going to do here is I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people waiting. And the way we'll do this is I'll bring you on. You'll have like 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Give your take, whatever you got. And then, whatever, we'll try to have a little back and forth. But I can't get too long-winded, I guess I could say. But I appreciate everybody's in the chat right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And first person up, my guy Darius. Darius, good morning.
Oh shoot! I had my mic off. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
No, you're good. You're good. My bald head brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I met you ATL at the little pregame thing that John Chapman was at. Yeah. But I think the right now is a result of just this society right now. Period. For real.
Speak on it.
Fast food, everything, microwave, everything. Everybody want everything right now. And the previous caller was talking about people wanting Jimmy G. Like I don't agree with that. I see like a small batch of us want Trey in, or he said people want to Trey in. I see the majority of the fan base wanting Jimmy G because of his winning record,
Yeah.
but they ignore the stuff he's doing in those games to get that winning record.
Right.
And
It's a little different, right? It's a
yeah,
little
and like
like hold on
him,
to your seats, you know.
yeah, because regular season him and playoff him are two completely different people. If they was the same person, we'd have two Super Bowls right now. But the fan base seems to ignore what he does in the playoffs. Like, oh, all he does is win. He got a 70%. He's better than Joe Montana's winning percentage and better than Steve Young. And he threw for 80% the other day. Like they ignore it. Like he goes through that cycle. He plays like crap, play a crappy team, plays good. Everybody loves him. Plays like crap. It's just a circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting Brady right now, that you have to see what Trey has after spending all that draft capital to get him. You got to see what he has now while he's still in this rookie contract, because otherwise we're gonna be in a situation that we were with Jimmy. He played good for 5 games and like, oh, give him the bag. He's a franchise QB, and now we want to move on from him. We drafting the quarterback 2-3 years later because he's not doing what we want him to do. So yeah, I don't think the Tom Brady thing is a good idea. It doesn't make any sense to go that route.
All right, Darius, I'm gonna get to the next caller, but I appreciate you coming on. And shout out
Yeah, for
to
sure.
us linking up in Atlanta.
Ball game.
Yeah, we out here. Let's go. I need to ask people how often do they shave because man, I'm not like super bald, so the hair keeps coming back, and it's like man, I gotta wear a hat right now. Then I gotta shave a few days later. You know what I'm saying? It's a little annoying. Uh, Isaiah here. Josh Allen didn't have Diggs. Lance has weapons already. What has he done? Well, one, Lance has barely played. You know what I'm saying? And you can say, oh, Josh Allen didn't have weapons or whatever, but Josh Allen was just super erratic. Whether it was the weapons or whatever, it was the year 3 jump of, like, okay, the game has slowed down. I feel more comfortable, and I have Diggs. So it wasn't like a gradual jump because he finally got a weapon. It was like I'm ass, kind of like okay, I can make some plays here and there. We can go 10-6. Lose to Deshaun Watson in the playoffs when my team spotted me a 16-point lead. But I'm ass, and then I'm considered one of the best. And he still does some weird stuff. I was just watching him against the New York Jets yesterday, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game. All right, here we go. SF, Bay, drummer. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's good, Croc? To answer your question, I would say, yeah, I would have took Tom Brady for the rest of the year if that was a viable option. We kind of tooled the team around him where he can have a dump off to McCaffrey and everything like that, and he'll be able to utilize the offense and get it out quick. But as for next year, if we were able to keep the same team, like as far as the offensive line, Brady would get killed because they can't even protect Jimmy right all the time. And whether that's Jimmy's decision or not, like he just wouldn't be protected. But I want to have Trey Lance develop. Like it's his turn. When the season's over, lose Jimmy's number, throw it in the shredder, forget it, just like you did Cap. So and then also even if they brought Brady in, the front office will have a sense of urgency to try to like sure up everything on the offensive side to make sure Brady has everything, and that'd be absolutely sickening. Like, why have all that energy for Brady and not for Trey, who's your franchise guy? Like that type of stuff has to stop. Like, yeah, we want to win, but make sure you have your guy have everything that he needs. All his like just like when you take your kids back to school, make sure they have their pencils, their binders, their backpack, and everything, so they're ready to learn and ready to go. So it's the same concept. You're gonna give your guy all the tools so that he can make an impact. Yeah, it's gonna be rough a little bit. Yeah, he's gonna do some stupid stuff. Maybe it cost you a few games, but I believe you could be a well-oiled machine at the winter time when you need the playoffs and you're trying to make a Super Bowl push during that time. And that's all I gotta say. I just wanted to let that fire off my chest.
All right, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
That's good stuff there. Here we go. We got the Hofster.
Yes, sir. What's up, Croc?
Man, did I say that right? Hofster? Hofster?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right. Yes, sir.
Man, so with that Tom Brady thing, bro, that's out. He's asked this year. He barely beat the Rams. He's out. That's hella dumb just to even bring him in. And or like that Rams game, CMC fumbled a couple times, and Jalen Ramsey, missed a couple picks, you know. And this is the Rams we're talking about, and it's crazy how people talking about Super Bowl. Rams ain't going nowhere, dude. Like that was out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and Jimmy, bro, is Jimmy. That playoff Jimmy, he's the same Jimmy in season two. It's just the defense and running game usually just carries him, and they do the same in the playoffs. That Tom Brady thing, yeah, we gotta let Trey Lance just have his chance, man. I remember watching Josh Allen in his rookie year. He was ass. The dude
Right.
threw
So do
more
you think it was just weapons?
interceptions.
Because I
He
had
threw
somebody
more.
say,
No,
well, he didn't have Diggs.
He threw more interceptions than touchdowns. My guy, you know, like, come on, bro. Like, and the second year, still ass. He did a little bit, but he improved. That third year, dude. That's what like we're trying to do with Trey. It's the social media era where everybody wants everything instant. You know,
Yeah.
like, but it's crazy because if we give Trey Lance, we've seen what he can do. We've seen the arm strength. Last year, he came in, did pretty good, threw more touchdowns than interceptions. He showed us that first game, bro. It was a monsoon, dude. That Seahawks game, we were already on the way to win. Like Jimmy just came in and just, he didn't do nothing. He hasn't done anything special all year. Everybody's talking about that Rams game. He almost threw two, like, straight to Ramsey, bro. I don't be getting these fans, man. Like
Right. But
they
I
got
don't want to.
higher
I don't want to jump on
expectations.
him for the almost picks. But I do get what you're saying. Like
No,
a
I
play
mean
here
it
and there,
was
and something
straight
could
to
drastically
no.
be
I'm
going
talking
the different
about
way.
one was in the touchdown, straight to a drop, and
Yeah.
one where Ramsey jumped up at the line in his hands, dropped. And I'm
Yeah.
just, and it's crazy because they threw Jeff Wilson under the bus talking about fumble. CMC fumbled twice. Like, what the hell? That's not like when we play good teams, you're gonna see, you know.
Yeah.
And that Tom Brady, bro, stop that stuff. Nah, if we didn't get him 2 3 years ago, bro, he looking like ass right now. If his name was in Tom Brady and it was something else, we wouldn't want him, dude. We want
Right.
we want him because his name. He's not Tom Brady anymore, man. He's looking like Jimmy. He's not really throwing anything over 25 yards.
The one thing he is doing better is taking care of the ball. He has like 10 touchdowns to one
I mean,
interception. So
yeah. That's the
yeah.
reason why Jimmy's ass. He can't even do that.
Yeah.
Like, and he's a 30. But Jimmy got $100 million managing these games, man. Like,
He
it's
got a
so
little. He got a little more than
crazy.
that. But yeah.
I know, but and we gave it to him after that 5-0. He literally threw 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. How do you give someone $100 million after that?
Yeah, they were this.
It was no, I guess it was
I'd
5-0
say I
at the
remember in the
end of the
moment.
year, and we weren't like all those teams. They weren't even like really playing against us, man. Like they were already in the playoffs. They were rested, and the other ones were just ass. They didn't give a fuck, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't be really getting all this stuff. You got to give Trey Lance his time, dude.
Yeah. It takes time. It does.
It's crazy. We gave up 3 picks for. I know it's a lot, but we got to see what he got. He got the deep ball. Like he got everything that we've seen it, but it's just like everybody wants him to be Josh Allen right now.
Right.
Like it's crazy, man. That's all I got to say, bro.
All right. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
Tom
coming
Brady's
on,
out,
Hofster.
bro. All that's gotta stop.
All right. All right. I'm about to get to the next caller.
All right, man.
All right. Shout out to the Hofster coming on. There was one thing I started because I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Hold on, Mr. NorCal. And listen, I love all my NorCal people for sure, especially my 209 folks. You feel me? But this is a lie. Josh Allen never played trash. It's a huge misconception his first 2 years. If you watch the games, uh, his weapons were terrible. And then there was another one you said too, and I'm like, that was a flat out lie. Where was it at? Did I start it? Oh, right here. Josh Allen was accurate. He had terrible weapons. Listen, bro, I am here to tell you. You know what? So I went back. And watched. So leading up into Trey Lance's game against the Houston Texans, I'm like, man, we know kind of, okay, Josh Allen, okay, we could be lumping stuff together in just one moment and it was bad or whatever. So let me go back and look at one of his early starts. That's what it is, right? So I'm like, I'm going to go back I was at the airport. I'm sitting in the airport. I got time, right? So I'm sitting in the airport. This is right before Trey Lance's second start against the Texans because I want to know, like, what am I going to see? So I just pick a random game from Josh Allen's rookie year. It ended up being like his fourth start or something like that against the Green Bay Packers. It was some of the worst quarterback film I've ever watched. He was super erratic. He was overthrowing guys by 10 yards. He did not want to let go of the ball. Everything was backyard football. He's getting sacked, thrown to the ground, and the way he was getting sacked, like, bro, it was bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, if Trey Lance plays like this, 49ers are in trouble. And the 49ers needed to win that game against the Texans, right? But I was watching Josh Allen, I'm like, this is ugly. I hope Trey Lance doesn't look like this in his second start. And it was Josh Allen's like fourth start against the Packers. Whatever it is, go back to his rookie year when he played the Packers, one of his first starts. And I just picked a random team. Okay, Packers, okay, let me watch it. And I'm like, gosh, oh shit. Oh no. Like it was ugly. So it wasn't accurate weapons, whatever. It was ugly. It was ugly. He just missed. He was missing. He was erratic. He didn't know where to go with the ball. It looked bad. But listen, it doesn't matter because it stuck with him. They stuck with him. They let him develop. They rode the ups and downs. They rode with it. And he's improved. He does weird things still. He threw one of his interceptions in the last game. It looked terrible, but I'm like, maybe he just wasn't on the same page with the receiver. The other one, it was like, the first one. You go back, watch Josh Allen's first interception. It was like, Josh Allen did miss that. Lance did miss that. But Lance made a lot of throws in that game. Lance made a lot of throws. He did miss the tight end, though. He did. He missed that. That miss where it's like, oh, I overthrew him. That wasn't what Josh Allen was doing. Josh Allen, it was like, and this is not me putting down Josh Allen to prop up Trey Lance. I'm just telling you, it was bad. Like remove Trey Lance from this conversation. What I watched from Josh, you guys don't take my word for it. Go watch Josh Allen against the Packers. It was like week 4 or something like that. Week 5. It was his fourth start. Just go watch that. Don't take my word for it. Remove me. Just go watch it for yourself. And then tell me what you see. I'm not here to talk about Trey Lance right now. I got to get off soon. So here we go. Truck Fit Dre. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah. Tired of hearing about Tom Brady. I read scripture on a daily basis to prove it. This is my trucker's New Testament. It's for truckers. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah.
And the last time I knew, it's a lot of people in here that think Tom Brady is Jesus, but Jesus had skin of vermis brass and hair of wool. He's not Jesus.
He did.
He has Mike Evans. He has Chris Godwin. He got 2 running backs that's capable of running for 1,000 yards, and he ain't doing nothing over there. What the hell? And he got Julio. What makes you think he's going to do anything with the weapons that we have? Tom Brady is not Jesus Christ. He is the most catered to quarterback of all time. The Tuck rule. We all know that was a fumble. But we had just went to war. So what? It was about patriotism. So they wanted the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. And Dominic Sue tore his ACL. Guess what? They made a rule for him. Tom Brady, man, look. Tom Brady's favorite quarterback is your favorite quarterback is Joe Montana. He's the greatest of all time, period, point blank. He had to play against true competition. He had the Bears. He had the Giants. He had the Cincinnati Bengals. He had squads that he actually had to play against, man. Tom Brady. He had the Cowboys. Like, oh yeah, Tom Brady really ain't. Man, look,
I'm
bro.
not saying for his career. I won't
Hey,
say that, but
Tom
I would say
Tom
right
Brady is
now
right
for
now.
how he
Tom
being
right.
viewed when people are like, oh man,
Even
we
at
need
four,
you got to
even at
get Tom
43
Brady
hours.
when he's 46
No,
years old. I'd
no,
say that
no.
version of Tom Brady, whatever people are thinking, I don't think he's quite that.
I wouldn't want him at 43. Do you know? Okay, so you got a quarterback just took you to the Super Bowl. You was up by 10 points. You lost due to a holding penalty on Nick Bosa. We all seen that play. Nick Bosa got tackled. It should have been a holding penalty. And there was another play I don't want to talk about, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We know that they didn't want us to win that Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Now, if you go back and you say, okay, we got a quarterback that took us to the Super Bowl, and now we're going to let him go for a 43-year-old quarterback. How many other franchise quarterbacks would actually want to come and play for the 49ers at this time? I'll take these months to the Super Bowl and they trade me. Yeah, I'm not going there.
Right.
It's a butterfly effect with everything, bro. See, I actually played the game just like you, Croc. You played the game. I don't come on these channels because I did Niners all day. I was the Rombo show, all of that shit. I don't come. And one of the reasons that I stopped because I had to stop critiquing people that I never had. I can't critique somebody who was able to do something that I always wanted to do. When I grew up, I said I want to be a pro football player. So who am I to come on here and say this guy's trash or this guy's ass? I could come on
Right,
here and
which is
say
typically,
he's
if you notice how I talk, I don't really say,
right. You
hey,
don't
this
really do
player
all
is
of that.
this. I typically
Right.
talk about where a guy is
Their
and things that
performance.
he could potentially improve on, but not so much like, oh, he's going to be a bust, he's trash, he'll never be good.
Right.
Like, that doesn't come out of my mouth.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah, I don't really like to do that. So when the couple of the last callers, when they're saying this guy's ass, this guy's trash, I could hear it in your voice. You had no athletic ability in your life. So y'all need to stop that. Especially the ones who've been on the couch with the Pepsi and the chips, you know what I'm saying, and the Doritos and the nachos and all of that, you know what I'm talking about. Before you talk about somebody else, go get yourself a physical fitness, you know what I'm saying, and really see what this game is about. You know what I mean? I really hate that. But to get back to Tom Brady's not Jesus Christ. He's the most catered to quarterback of all time. And his performance is horrible this year. Are you guys watching the same thing I'm watching? Jimmy Garoppolo is playing better than Tom Brady this year. That's a fact.
right.
That's cold hard facts. Jimmy Garoppolo beat two teams that Tom Brady lost to by double digits.
Tom Brady,
It's just cold hard.
the offense isn't very good right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Every
He's
time they
not
play,
good.
I take the under.
He's not good right now, dude. Like, I mean, what are people seeing? Why do y'all think that he is gonna come and save us, bro? He is not Jesus, bro. He's a 45-year-old quarterback, bro, who should have been retired. Giselle about to leave his ass. He better put the game up. That's a fine.
I think it's done. I think it's a done deal. I think she a free
Yeah.
agent.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So you like, bro, he just can't let it go. It's over, Tom. It's a wrap. I don't want you. We don't want you. I want to see what Trey Lance is about. Now, what I can say is that Trey Lance is not yet a leader. Because if you see how those guys responded when Jimmy Garoppolo came into that game and we were down by double digits, I still thought that we were going to lose. That's how you know this team responds to a true leader. Trey Lance just isn't there yet. Trey Lance is still trying to win games with his athletic ability, and it was easy to see. This is not college, bro. It's not, Trey. Go sit down. You need to be like Joe Montana. One thing they said about Joe, I got to pull over for this one. So there's an old interview.
Hey, the floor. You know what? Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. The floor is yours. There we go.
All right, so there's an old interview that all of us should go watch by and it was conducted. I can't remember who the sports writer was, but he was talking. He was talking to he was talking to the 49ers head coach at the time. It was Bill Walsh. He was talking to Bill Walsh, and he was talking about how everywhere that Joe Montana went, he had this red photo with him, and that red photo was his playbook. It never stopped his entire career when he came from Notre Dame all the way through when he got, when he left and went to Kansas City and they went to the playoffs, and he had a similar Tom Brady run, you know what I mean, with the Kansas City Chiefs. He almost got him there. They said he always stayed with that red photo in his hand, man. Look, Trey, if you're listening, if you're watching, I hope you are. Bruh, it's easier. You ain't got to read nothing now. Now you just get a tablet. Stay with that tablet, man. You wasn't ready. You wasn't. I seen it the first game that Trey Lance played, I could see it, bro. He was not ready, bro.
He was not ready. Talking about when he came in. Really
yeah,
both the Seahawks and the Cardinals game.
He played better last year than he played this year. Like I I clearly seen it when I seen him play the first game this year. When I seen him play the first game this year, I knew he wasn't ready then, man. He does not comprehend the offense. He's still trying to win games on his athletic ability, and you can't do that unless you're Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts. Oh yeah, straight from VA on Rombo 3 years ago. You said that Jalen Hurts was trash. I said that we should have drafted him. You said he was trash. Eat your words, brother. And
Is
you owe
he
me
in here right
$100,
now?
brother. Oh yeah, Trey. I hope he is. I need my $100 though, bro. I need my change, man. I need my change from the Rombo show. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I got to screenshot it. It's still in the troller deck. You know what I'm talking about? I need my
Yeah.
change, man. Jalen Hurts is a leader. Jalen Hurts is a leader. Do you know that this man has been with the same girlfriend that he's had since he was 15 years old? So he ain't gonna have no outside issues. He's a true family man. He has a mother and father in the home. That's a big thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And knowing what it's like to have a mother and a father in the home. There's a lot of trauma that comes with not having a father or not having a mother in the home. So when you
Yeah.
have a guy that's like that and he's raised with morals and principles and he's the strongest guy pound for pound in your locker room and he's the quarterback, like where's that done? He is the strongest guy on the Philadelphia team. Not saying that there's guys that probably can't lift more than him, but for his weight, he's the strongest guy on the team. The guy squats 755 pounds. He reps 655. I seen this from my own eyes. The guy puts up 350, 355 playing with it. Like he's just a different animal, bro. He has it up here, he got it right here, bro, and he's not gonna put it on his team. And then what I liked about when they were 5-0 and they interviewed him after the game, he said, "I'm tired of hearing about that undefeated shit. Like we focusing on next week." I was done when I seen that. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the dude that I would want." You know what I mean? But know the Tom Brady. He's not Jesus Christ. Go read scripture. It'll tell you right in this book, Jesus Christ was a black man. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, Tom, well, I really hated it. I hated watching you for all those years get given Super Bowls. I can't stand you. I think you were the worst thing to happen to the NFL. They dumbed a lot of shit down for you. They gave you a lot of shit. Even when the last Super Bowl you won with the Patriots, they interviewed 3 people and all of them were part of politics. And there's one guy, I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all remember the interview where he said the Patriots gonna win. He said, "I'll talk to you after." They already knew they was gonna win. And another thing, look at the articles of organization for the NFL. The articles of organization for the NFL, they're not a sports league. They have a 5013C. That's why you always see the Boys and Girls Club and they're doing this. And every NFL athlete is mandated to do 75 hours community service. I found this out by my boy Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? He out there with the Patriots now, KB, you know what I mean? It's a nonprofit. So you know what that means? They could dictate the outcome of games that you bet on and that we watch and we can't say shit about it. Because they are a nonprofit. The NFL is not a sports league. They changed it when they cheated for time again against the Jets, and then the Jets fans sued the NFL, and then they changed to a 5013C. That's why they got to do all of this, community service every year. So
Yeah.
the games, the outcome of the games is already it's already de facto. I'm a CDL Class A driver, right? I've been coast to coast the last 3 years. Now, is it just me or when I rode through Ohio the year before they went to Super Bowl, bumpy roads. The year after they go to the Super Bowl, for 423 miles throughout Ohio highways throughout that state, there's a lot of construction going on. Where did that money come from? I'm just saying, man, you gotta follow the money, man. You know what I'm talking about? The
I
NFL is
hear
not a
you.
sports league no more. Hey, man, I'm just giving a different type of insight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have to believe me. Y'all can go look at the articles of organization for the NFL and see for yourself. They are classified as a
They are. Yeah.
5013C,
Like college
which
football
is a
too. College
nonprofit.
football is a nonprofit.
So they could dictate the outcome of games. They could say, hey, this city and this state, their roads are really bad right now. They need money for infrastructure. We're going to send them to the Super Bowl. And then what happens? All of those proceeds that came in from that NFC or AFC championship and that Super Bowl, it goes to the city, man. So always be woke, brother. Y'all be woke up out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard 49ers fan, but at the end of the day, this shit is just like the WWE. It's already preordained. It's already preordained. You know what I mean? They already know who wants to win. So don't take it too serious, man. I got love for all y'all. For all of my truckers that are men and women out here that's on this road, man, salute to y'all because we move in America. And man, salute to you, Croc, man. You don't really, I really appreciate your insight, bro, and how you say you strictly want to stick to football. I know that I'm being a hypocrite right now because I didn't strictly stick to football, but
No,
I
no, you're good. I
appreciate.
just don't want to be
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just want
Right,
to talk football. Like, I mean, we're
right,
still talking football, but I don't want to like,
right.
people they make it like real personal and stuff like that, and that's the
Yeah,
part where
yeah.
I'm like, all right,
Hey guys, we can't take this stuff personal. Believe me, it's already preordained. Croc signed a non-disclosure agreement. It's some stuff that he can't talk
I gotta
about.
look through I got my contract. Maybe one day I'll
Hey,
post my contract on here.
bruh,
I got it in
Croc can
my
tell
email.
y'all. Croc can tell y'all what's up. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it's about player development. Player development is very important. I want to see what Trey Lance has. He wasn't ready this year. I could see like looking through press conferences that Kyle Shanahan kind of knew that this kid wasn't ready. Because as soon as Jimmy Garoppolo came into the game, you just seen the offense open up because Jimmy comprehends the. I don't care what y'all say about Jimmy. Y'all can say he's trash or whatever. Y'all never made it to the NFL. What I can say is this guy's won 70% of his games, and that he's a true leader. And you know what he stays with? He stays with this in his hand. Trey Lance don't. Trey Lance don't. I got through Kendrick Bourne, man.
I
I was
don't know.
able to
So
talk
Trey
to some
Lance is
people.
watching. Listen, I don't know what he stayed with. I
Hey,
don't know. You know what I'm
hey,
saying? But
hey,
yeah, I hear
hey,
you. I hear
Trey,
you.
hey, Trey, you don't stay with this. And you know what I'm saying? I came through Bismarck a couple of times. I hope we don't have a Deshaun Watson with you for a couple, 3 or 4 years down the line. Boy, I heard about you when you was in college. You ain't
Oh
so much of
no.
an
Okay.
angel,
All right.
but
All right. All right. Dre, I appreciate you
hey,
coming on. I don't know.
hey,
All
hey, man,
right.
I'm
All right.
gone, mate. Hey, I'm
All
gone,
right. All
mate.
right. All right. All right. The Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I don't know nothing about nothing, y'all. Listen, I love everybody. Everybody good. All right. All right. Shout out to Dre coming on. There were a couple of things I started. Josh Allen coming out party was 49. That was year 3. That wasn't year 1 or 2. Everyone Croc is talking about Allen because his point is the Bills let him develop. Yeah, and that was my point. Like, just like I lumped in Josh Allen with other players that teams let develop. That was my point. Now, obviously, what Josh Allen has been outside of really the last couple games, what Josh Allen has been is an extreme version of that. But when you look at other guys, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, some of these other guys that are just like, hey man, they start off a certain way, let these guys develop and be patient with the process. This is year 3 for Jalen Hurts right now. It's year 3. Let these guys develop. All right, here we go. Eric Dane. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Croc. Thanks for having me on.
Your voice. You got like, see, me. I got like this raspy, weird voice, but your voice. It sound like not like a cartoon character, but like when it's like if I was to put like how I want like a voice for somebody calling in, it would be your voice.
Like an old timey like radio host, right? Like
Yeah. That's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Hey, welcome to New Year's 1917. Yeah, I've been told I got that kind of voice. I also have the flu right now, so if I sound a little off, it might be because of the flu.
I think the cold and the flu and everything, I think that's going around right now because I've been really congested. Nobody can tell because I always can sound kind of sick. But yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Man.
But just wanted to respond to the last caller real quick. I think he was saying at the end that Trey Lance got to read the Bible. I mean, Tim Tebow read the Bible a lot. It really didn't help him find the open receivers. So I'd rather he was reading the playbook. I'm not too worried about that. It was reported they had the thing. You probably heard the story. They had the tablets that were tallying who was reading the playbook. And Trey Lance in training camp had
hours.
He logged the most hours. I'm not worried about Trey Lance's development. In terms of Tom Brady, I think we got to put it in perspective here. This isn't like a 25-year-old Tom Brady. I think what's going on right now, Tom Brady, I think this is buyer's remorse. I think the time to get Tom Brady was after he left the Patriots. That was when they should have done it. That was before they made the trade for Trey Lance. They didn't give up any of those picks. They didn't have Trey Lance on the roster. That was the opportunity to get Tom Brady. That window is past. You can't go back in time. You can't get that again. And if you try to recreate a missed opportunity, you end up making more mistakes going forward. So now we're not talking about a couple years ago. We're talking about next season. Next season, Tom Brady is going to be 46 years old. He's a great player. He's probably the greatest quarterback of all time. Nobody is superhuman. Nobody can defeat Father Time. I don't care who you are. Eventually, time is going to catch up to Tom Brady. Looks like it's starting to catch up to him a little bit already. He's also got all the stuff off the field with divorce going on. This isn't the same, like I said, this isn't 25-year-old prime Tom Brady that we'd be getting. We'd basically be going all in on next season. And I don't know. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. I'm of the opinion that if you're a team like the Rams or the Lions or let's say the Vikings, you never won a Super Bowl before. Okay, if you're that team, you go all in, you get your one Super Bowl ring, and then you could talk about it for the next 30 years. The Rams, they're happy with that one Super Bowl ring. They don't care if the team's falling apart right now.
Right.
I don't think the 49ers are that same kind of organization. I don't think that they're the kind of organization where they need to go all in on one season. I think, especially with the way the team's been put together with Kyle and John, they're built for sustained success. So do you really want to go all in on one season? And now I think part of the problem is fantasy football, right? We talk about fantasy football. Oh, let's just get this guy on the team. Well, okay, but that's only half the question. I mean, the other half is what does it cost, right? Like you could say, oh, hey, I want a new car, right? You walk into the dealership, they're not just going to hand you the keys. The next question is going to be, well, what does it cost, right?
Right.
So the cost for Tom Brady, we've already mentioned what the cost would be in terms of development of Trey Lance, right? When you draft a player in the first round, you get 4 years of contract. You get the 4-year contract, and then you get an option. You pick up the 5th-year option for the player, right? In order to pick up that 5th-year option, you have to submit that paperwork before the 4th season starts. That's why they had to pick up Nick Bosa's 5th-year option before this season started, before his 4th season started. So now you're looking at a situation next season with Trey Lance. If you bring in Tom Brady, Trey Lance is sitting his 3rd year. After his 3rd season, you got to decide if you got to pick up his 5th-year option. There's no
Which
way.
will by that time be a decent amount. Like it'll be north of 20 million, 23 million.
Very much so. And how do you make that kind of commitment when he's made 4 starts in 3 years? You just don't have enough information. Even if you believe in Trey Lance, you just don't have enough game tape to say, okay, this guy is worth that kind of commitment. So if you bring in Tom Brady, first of all, you're basically giving up on Trey Lance, who you traded 3 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick for. That's a big investment in order to walk away from for a 1-year chance at, potentially winning a Super Bowl next season. Another thing you got to think about is Nick Bosa. Like I said, they picked up Nick Bosa's 5th-year option. That's for next season, but they're going to want to get a contract out with Nick Bosa before next season starts. You don't want to go into next season with that contract still up in the air, because if he plays out his 5th-year option, then Nick Bosa becomes a free agent after next season. So, I mean, I don't know how much Tom Brady would cost to bring in next year, but you got to think it would make it difficult to bring in Tom Brady and give Nick Bosa his extension. So now you're looking at a situation where not only are you possibly walking away from Trey Lance, you might be in a situation where you might not be able to afford Tom Brady and Nick Bosa as well. So now, is that really worth it for 1 year of Tom Brady to maybe lose Trey Lance, maybe lose Nick Bosa? Mike McGlinchey's contract is coming up. A year after that, you got to look at Brandon Ayuk, who's been playing well. He might need a contract extension. I mean, so the cost for Tom Brady, the more you think about it, the cost goes up and up and up. Now, if it's as simple as, oh, let's just bring this guy in, yeah, I mean, who would say no to Tom Brady? But like I said, it's not just what you get, it's what it costs. And the cost at this point is going to be another year of development for Trey Lance, potentially losing him altogether, not being able to bring him in for the 5th-year option. And then maybe, might not have enough cap space to re-sign Nick Bosa.
So do you think that everybody's kind of overthinking this, right? And a lot of it, I mean, I know a lot of it's speculation, right? I don't know if they're thinking about Tom Brady in the building right now. But do you think it's as simple as just Trey Lance is a starter next year, we just need to keep him healthy, right? Figure out a way to keep him healthy. Maybe stop running him up the middle.
I think
right?
I think it's the people who don't really believe in John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I think it's because there's a lot of the fans that don't really believe in Kyle. So I think those fans are looking at it like, hey, these guys are never going to get it done. We got to go all in 1 year, whether that means Tom Brady or whatever. Some of the options they were talking about, maybe trading for Aaron Rodgers before they drafted Trey Lance. I think that there's a certain section of the fan base that just doesn't believe in Kyle and John, and they think we got to go all in because these guys are never going to get it done. Now, I disagree. I believe in John and Kyle, which is why I have the opposite opinion. I don't want to go all in. I want to let these guys build the team the way that they've been doing, because as far as I'm concerned, it's been working so far.
Right. I agree. And I think again, a lot of it is kind of the what 76ers, their motto was trust the process, right? And I think right now you got a young quarterback and you just got to figure out how to get him up to speed. Now, I wish they would have maybe he wasn't ready for it, right? Like I don't know. But I wish they would have started him the first year because I felt like this year you would have been better off for it. Now, you can't foresee injuries happening and things like that, but just in general, just with what Trey needed, right? And now the big part about all this isn't just so much somebody just sitting for 3 years in the NFL, right? Because Aaron Rodgers did that and whatnot. We're talking about, and this is what people are talking about, right? Like by bringing in a Tom Brady and whatnot. It's not only sitting him for 3 years in the NFL, but also he did not play the year before because it was a COVID year. And then the year he played before that was at the FCS level. So we're talking about one FCS season in 5 years, and then now all of a sudden you got to go. Like, no, you just got to play. And you got to play to figure out where is he, right? So if he shows you enough, then like you said, pick up the 5th-year option. Okay, we're good. He continues to get better. Year 5, you see another jump, and it's like, all right, we're good.
And how are you going to know? How are you going to know if he's going to be a franchise quarterback if you never play him? I mean, what happens if they bring in Tom Brady? They let Trey Lance walk. Some other team, let's say the Falcons or the Commanders or the Colts, another decent team brings Trey Lance in, and he pops, he explodes. What do you do at that point? Oh my God, we should have kept Trey Lance. Like that's why you got to make those decisions beforehand, especially the move they just made to bring in Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Trey Lance is a mobile quarterback, right? He adds that element to the offense. Tom Brady doesn't really, he's not really known for mobility. So now you're looking at a situation next season where not only do you have Deebo Samuel who can run the ball and catch it, Christian McCaffrey can run the ball and catch it. You got George Kittle who can catch passes, but he could also block in the running game. And then, like, my point is this, going into next season, right? Imagine this. Imagine if you're a middle linebacker on a defense, right? You got Trey Lance back there in shotgun. You got Christian McCaffrey next to him. Deebo Samuel out on one side. George Kittle inline blocking tight end on the other side. Deebo Samuel starts coming into motion and they snap the ball. You're the middle linebacker. What do you do? Who do you account for? Do you account for Deebo? Do you account for Christian McCaffrey? If you account for either of those guys, guess who you're not accounting for? Trey Lance. You know what I mean? So what we're seeing with this offense in 2 games with Christian McCaffrey has already been great. And that's with a quarterback who the defenses don't need to account for the quarterback in the running game. So, I mean, I really like the move for Christian McCaffrey. I think it's good, not just for this year, but I think it's going to be really good next year. When you got Trey Lance back there, defense got to account for him. They're not going to be able to account for everybody. They're not going to be able to account for Deebo, Christian McCaffrey, Trey Lance. And if they start accounting for all those guys, you're not accounting for George Kittle. George Kittle is going to eat you alive. That's one of the reasons that I'm not worried about the Seahawks. I know the Seahawks are looking good right now. Just a little tidbit going on about what the next game with the Seahawks. I just want everyone to keep in mind, the Seahawks have given up the most yards to opposing tight ends in the NFL. Okay, so I'm not worried about the Seahawks. George Kittle is going to eat the Seahawks for breakfast. And if they try to double George Kittle, Deebo is going to be back at that point. You still got IU. Christian McCaffrey is going to have a field day. So I understand why. I mean, it's Tom Brady. It's a big name. Obviously, there's going to be interest. He's not a bad player. I don't think he's declining yet. But he's going to start declining at some point. He's going to be 46 years old next season. Do you really want to risk walking away from Trey Lance, maybe potentially walking away from Nick Bosa on the hopes that Tom Brady doesn't decline? And let's be honest. I mean, there's 32 teams. You're not the only team trying to win the Super Bowl. You can go all in and still lose because there's other teams that are doing everything they can to try to win the Super Bowl too. So there's no guarantee. I mean, if you bring in Tom Brady, there's no guarantee you're going to win it. And the risk that you're taking, like I said, maybe losing Trey Lance, potentially losing Nick Bosa, you could upset the entire apple cart on going all in on one season, and that doesn't even guarantee they're going to win the Super Bowl anyway.
I hear you, man. A lot of good stuff, man. Eric, you got to call in more often.
All right, thanks for taking my call. Have a nice day.
All right, here we go. Chunderboy. I know I'm saying that wrong.
You'll get it.
I'll get it eventually. How you doing, Damon?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Croc?
Pretty good. A lot of good talk here. And I'll ask you this question because I've seen Devarius ask it a couple times in the chat, and he says, "Croc, what the hell is ready, and how do you get ready?" Now here's my opinion, just on being quote unquote ready. I feel like for really anything, you're never really ready until you are, right? But you got to kind of like find out if you're quote unquote ready for whatever it is that you're trying to get ready for. And being ready, I think it can be different in different situations. So as it pertains to Trey Lance, I think because of the expectations of the 49ers, Trey Lance being ready is he ready to lead a team to a Super Bowl? As opposed to someone that plays for the Bears or the Jaguars. It's more so, are you ready to just be able to start a football game? So we know that he's ready to start a football game. Is he ready to lead a team to a Super Bowl? I would say most people that are inexperienced are not ready until they show that they are to do that. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. But that was a big question for me too when people are like, oh, Trey Lance, he's not ready. And I'm like, what do you mean he's not ready? Like, ready for what? But I think it was ready to lead a team to a Super Bowl because that's the expectation. And for me, for any young guy, that is, I wouldn't put those expectations on a young quarterback. Even Justin Herbert heading into, what is this, his third year? I wasn't thinking like, hey man, Justin Herbert, is he ready to lead the Chargers to a Super Bowl? Like, I just don't think he's there yet, right? Now, I would have said the same thing about Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow ended up doing it, but that's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. And I feel like athletes, and now I'm more so answering the question. I know you're just in here right now, but they are out.
I do have something to add.
To prove us wrong. Well, not prove us wrong, but they are built to overcome different adversities and circumstances. And so whatever expectations are put on Trey, I hope he exceeds them. But go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to. So I think you're talking about you have to first identify when you're talking about what do you mean by ready? Do you mean functionally ready, or do you mean like figuratively ready? So Bill Walsh used to say that you have to act like champions before you can win a championship. You have to prepare like a champion. You have to practice like a champion. You have to go out there and play like a champion, and then eventually you can win a championship. There are ways that you could see with Trey Lance. Is he ready? Is he preparing the right way? Is he mentally in the right space? Does he physically make the throws he needs to make? All that stuff is you can witness in the practice field. Now, you'll never know if he's capable of consistently performing on the field during a game until he does that. But that's the last step of the process. Right. So is he ready? Did he check all those other boxes? Then he's ready. And whether or not he's capable of doing it or not, we'll never know until he actually tries. So I feel like that's almost, to use your favorite word of the day, a disingenuous argument, because it's not actually it's not looking at the things that you're asking the wrong questions, or looking for an answer that you're not actually asking the question to. So I wanted to touch on a couple of things real quick, and we really got to do a long form version of this because there's no way I'm going to touch on it. By the way, what was his name? Chuck Feet Dre. Am I saying that right? Man, that is fantastic content. Yeah.
Chuck Fit Dre.
That is terrific content. That guy is awesome. Wrong on almost everything you said.
I want to say this
awesome.
outside of the whole, I don't want to throw allegations out there on no players or anything like that. So that's the part I wish I could X out. And I
that
just
bothers.
can't.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I really enjoy hearing a different perspective than mine, or even whatever my train of thought is. And I think his train of thought was a little different on certain things, and I appreciated that. So some of the things where in my head is like that's a little out there, but well, maybe there is a correlation. Maybe it's not a coincidence.
So there's a couple of things I could point out right away that kind of get in the way of his theory. The reason that the reason the organization of the NFL moved to a nonprofit to prevent certain lawsuits is because of frivolous lawsuits that they were receiving by the hundreds every year. There's one lawsuit that is brought up as far as the Jets fans and so on and so forth, which, by the way, didn't go anywhere. And that had very little to do because the proceedings for them to actually get that nonprofit designation was in place before that lawsuit happened. So you can't say that it's because of a lawsuit when the proceedings for that were filed before that lawsuit. That's the first thing. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not a lawyer. The other thing, talking about like the roads through Ohio, I promise you the bid for those roads was done 10 years earlier. So unless you're saying that there's some sort of multi-decade conspiracy to control the outcome of the roadways in middle America by the NFL, I don't know that Superman can make that leap. So just addressing those things real quick. So back to the original topic, Tom Brady. Again, we are back to our second favorite word of the day, context. The context in which the decision to not get Tom Brady at the time that they made it was correct. You have a quarterback coming off of a Super Bowl loss who is in his 20s and in his prime and seems to be, by the entire world, even the people that are now the Jimmy haters, even they had to say this guy is ascending. And you had a 40-year-old quarterback coming off the worst season of his career. That's the context in which that decision was made. It doesn't make the decision is not incorrect based on the information available at the time. The decision has been proven incorrect based on what happened afterward. Now, to compare that to something that's not a hindsight decision, okay, and where you see the 49ers actually make an adjustment. When the 49ers took over the team, they had a very specific thought process on how they wanted to build a team. They've talked about this over and over again in press conferences. The reason that they didn't get Patrick Mahomes is because they didn't hardly look at quarterbacks. They had an exact idea of how they wanted to do it and so like that. That was a mistake. You did not do your due diligence and you missed out on a generational player because your way of going about it was wrong and you made a mistake. They have since corrected that. They have since they've been in on it. Everything. They're linked to everything now because they're doing their. If somebody says, oh, hey, somebody sprayed their ankle and now they want to go to San Francisco, it is on Twitter in 7 minutes. Like
that the 49ers are in some capacity.
Yeah, they call about everyone. They are not going to let another Mahomes situation happen. Why? Because they agree. That was a mistake. They had a plan that had a hole in it, and their hole cost them a generational talent. So I think you have to kind of differentiate between what is a mistake at the time and what is a mistake after the fact because we now have new information. If you make the right decision based on the information you have at the time, that's not a mistake. It's just bad luck. Things didn't go your way. It's like a fumble, right? Ball gets punched out. It goes back. Your own team recovers it. Does that mean the other team did a bad job because they didn't punch it out correctly? No. They punched the ball out. They did their job. It just didn't bounce your way. Okay? Lastly, this tuck rule thing has got to stop. Okay, and people saying that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl because of the tuck rule. First of all, that was the AFC Championship, not the Super Bowl. He had to win a whole nother game against an even better team after that. That's the first thing.
I think it's because when the fumble happened, it was at the end of the game, and the Raiders recovered
Absolutely.
it. So if there was no tuck rule,
then he doesn't go. Yeah.
Then he doesn't go, and that ultimately got them to the Super Bowl where they'd have an opportunity. So I do think that the rule was changed based on that.
After. Correct.
But they did not. But they did call it the right way at the time, which similar to the Dez Bryant catch, right? Like the catch with Dez Bryant, where
I'm sorry, that's not the same. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's not the same.
It's the same. It's a technicality in the verbiage of something, and something it might not happen here and there, but so the rule to catch a football, right, was you have to be up and and be able to make like a football move on your feet. Dez, while catching it, was going down and reached out. So it wasn't like he established this possession in a play. He's going down, reaches out, hits the ground, ball pops out, and real time it happens kind of fast. The ball popped out. So technically, by the rule, it was incomplete. Now, we can watch it. If we're in the backyard with our friends and that happens, it's like, bro, that's a catch. What the fuck you talking about? Right? But to the rule of the NFL is wrong. But they've since changed it. They've changed it. So it's similar because of, it was something where a technicality in the verbiage or the letter of a rule and, unfortunate thing happened for a couple players or teams.
So, I'm only going to push back halfway. So the Tom Brady thing, just to go back to that real quick and then move on to the Des Bryant. The Tom Brady thing, this is the part that bothers me is that it's a conspiracy. The rule had been in place the whole time. It was a weird, obscure rule that almost nobody, they had to look it up. The refs don't even hardly know about it. They had to double check the rule to see what the correct call was. They made the correct call. Afterwards, they reviewed it and it's like, no, that's stupid. We need to change that rule. That's not a conspiracy. That's the right way to go about business.
Correct.
Okay, so that aside, that whole argument with all that stuff is so dumb to me. Now, with the Des Bryant thing, there's one thing that nobody talks about, and maybe I don't know, I could be wrong. Okay, you have to have 2 feet down or a third step, and this is at the time. Okay, this is not after the rule. After the rule, they changed all sorts of stuff. They've changed it 3 times since then. And now nobody knows what the hell a catch is. But at the time, a third step down is possession, right? 3 steps, yeah? Okay.
Typically, yes, but
he caught the ball.
Okay, so here's the part that throws everything off. The most important thing is if you're catching a ball and going to the ground, you must maintain possession through the ground. That's where he lost in that technicality of the verbiage.
Sort of. That rule was updated and enforced later. At the time, they used that part of the rule to say it was correct. But the reason that that's not true is because once you possess the ball, it doesn't matter if you go to the ground or not. He had 2 feet down
to the ground, so they never.
I understand.
Because you got to remember, we could bring the play up. You got to remember, when he goes up to catch the ball, as soon as he catches it, he's starting to go down now. So they're saying he never technically had the 1, 2, 3. I got 3 steps down and I'm making the move.
Yes, he did. No, he did, and here's why. And this is the part that nobody talks about. His elbow and his knee. Hold on. His elbow and his knee hit the ground first. Anytime you are going to the ground, one elbow counts as 2, one knee counts as 2. It's talking about inbound. The way the rules are written, his elbow and his knee going down are the same as him taking a step.
No,
his elbow going out and hitting the ground first.
But not if you don't maintain possession through the ground. Like on a fumble, yeah. If I have possession of the ball and I reach out and the elbow hits the ground and then the ball comes out, no, that's not a fumble. But for a catch, which is different, there is that technicality there. So they have since changed the verbiage of it though, to where now that 100% would have been a catch.
I to this day, and this is one of the things where I die on a hill I shouldn't die on, because you're right, basically. And I'm really just arguing semantics, but it just it still bothers me.
This is a good conversation.
It still bothers me so badly that that's not a catch. And I'm literally grabbing for any straw I can find to make it a catch. And
it wasn't a catch.
And I do think technically I'm correct. I have to go back to see what the rule, the way the rules have changed. Because a third step down,
because I do have to get out of here soon, but our guy Truck Fit Dre says you are wrong. He has the files, and he said you have no idea about the road work and all that.
So he's talking about the files. He's probably talking about the nonprofit organization and the lawsuits.
Okay.
It's probably what he's talking about.
I don't know. I do know I have my NFL contract, so. Maybe I'll put a PDF file in there and I'll get one of y'all to read it up. Read my NFL contract.
I said he's right. So he's right about the NFL filing that stuff. The files that he has, I didn't dispute those. I'm disputing why that happens and how long it takes. You can't take something that's an LLC and then turn around you have to go through certain legal proceedings. To go from a corporation to a nonprofit or to an LLC or to a sole proprietorship, all this stuff has to happen in court. On top of that, and I never even got to this part, which further takes away against his argument. I was trying to kind of leave it alone. So each NFL team is its own entity. They're own privately owned entities that play within the National Football League. If 5 teams tomorrow wanted to leave the NFL and start their own league, now they have legally binding contracts with the NFL, which would prevent it, and there would be a legal hassle. But once those contracts were up, they could go form their own league if they want. The teams are individually owned by these owners. The teams themselves are not nonprofits. The league is a nonprofit. Which billionaire owner is going to allow a league to have his team not win a Super Bowl for 20 years? Which billionaire owner is going to allow his billion-dollar franchise to be devalued by a lack of success? The entire concept of a rigged league it doesn't make sense from a logic perspective, from a purely business, like narcissistic. If what you're claiming that this is happening, it doesn't make sense based on its own argument. Its own argument defeats it. Because billionaire
like Raiders,
owners that
like
own a
the
private
Raiders,
business,
right?
there's no way.
The Raiders, one of the, historic, franchises, but, they haven't won a playoff game since like 2003, and they're short money. They couldn't even pay out Khalil Mack. So what you're saying is, and again, I'm just trying to tie it together with what you're saying. I'm not saying that Dre is wrong, but what you're saying is they are not going to agree to some conspiracy. Not saying his conspiracy, but just to where it's like, no, like this league is rigged. We know it's rigged, but we're not going to bend it. Like we still got to suffer. Right. Now, if you're telling me, if you're the Raiders and you're like, because everybody does get money, like everybody in the NFL, like all the owners, they do get money, but there are teams that are making way more than others. Way more merchandise, the brand, tickets, the brand, whatever, right? And the Raiders should be one of the higher paid ones, but they're not. Like their team is kind of, their owners doesn't have money in comparison to the other owners, right? We're not talking about
bad business too. Some of that's bad business too.
But what you're saying is a team isn't going to be like, nah, we don't care about winning more than rigging it to where the Cincinnati Bengals can do some road work in Cincinnati.
It's a bad business model. Yeah, it's not the WWE. It's a very bad business model. The WWE is a single organization, and each person that's in that organization is not individually owned. They are part of the organization as a whole. The organization is the bigger part. Within the NFL, it's the opposite. Each team is individually owned. It's an individual business entity that competes within a partnership. The NFL league itself is the nonprofit organization, not the teams. And so it literally falls apart no matter what direction you go at it from. And I understand what he's saying, and I understand where he's going with it. And I hope you understand at this point, Dre Berry, like I said, I loved what you came on and said, and I love a different perspective. That was fantastic content. I think you're an amazing dude, and you bring some really, really good insights. I do have an idea what I'm talking about in this instance. And I do have a background as far as business and stuff goes. I've owned businesses. I do know what the legal ramifications are between a nonprofit, an LLC, a corporation, a sole proprietorship, whatever venture you want to go down. So do I know the whole story? No. But I know enough of it to know that it's not impossible for the league to be rigged, but it's far more likely that it's a league with people who make mistakes. And when you make mistakes in $1 billion entity, they're big time mistakes.
I would say this, and this is why, again, I will push back on the conspiracy that things are rigged. Or I'll say this, if let's say there is something rigged, it's not the teams and ownerships and like they don't know. Maybe the refs know. Maybe the refs know that they can call things a certain way to kind of skew things. But I don't think that coaches would spend as much hours staying at the facility, being away from their families for something that they know they have no chance of achieving. So that's just kind of that would be my pushback on just that. But not saying that, again, Dre, I appreciate you coming on. Like, y'all can come on and talk.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow I can bring y'all both on.
Hell yeah.
Y'all can, you know what I'm saying? You come on. Dre, hopefully he's not driving tomorrow. Y'all can come on. Y'all can talk about it because I do think that's a really good conversation. Yeah. But I would say as hard as people work, as much hours as they put in, as much hours as they spend staying at that facility, being away from their families, Tom Brady, not borderline or getting a divorce over playing this sport. I don't think that those things would happen if at least they knew that the league was rigged.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Real quick, the whole Tom Brady playing for the Niners next year, off the jump, he's only playing this year, so he doesn't have to pay Giselle his Fox money. That's been reported by almost every entity that exists in the sports world so far.
Shit.
It's not some made up thing. It
But does he have to pay
financially
Giselle?
and
Well, I mean,
legally, yes.
Giselle, she's worth more than him.
I don't know, for one, but two, she doesn't make any more money in over the next 20 years than him, because as a model, her earnings are going to go down, his are going to go up. So part
Gotcha.
of litigation in a marriage, when you're dissolving a marriage, is how much of what they earned while they were being married and what they built business wise is going to continue to escalate, and you have to figure out who gets how much of each. So his business dealings with Fox would be a part of this divorce unless he's not there yet. If he plays one more year, the divorce gets finalized. Now what he does with Fox is an entity that's after the fact, and she can't come after it later.
Right. And listen, y'all, I know nothing about divorce. I've never been divorced. I've been married going on 7 years. And
Good for you. Hey, they say 7
about 2
years is the
weeks.
threshold.
7 years in about 2 weeks. So I don't know the process of getting divorced or anything. But man, I appreciate you coming on. And again, great insight, great talk. And we'll be back here tomorrow. So
I got into your whatever they're called, PMs, DMs, whatever. If you want to do any kind of a longer format thing, just let me know.
all right, sounds good.
Appreciate it.
All right. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody. Hey, great show. Went longer. I was supposed to be off at 12. Wasn't off at 12. You know, stuff happens. But when you're talking, and I think there were a lot of good different conversations and viewpoints. We didn't even get to the Chargers. Y'all want to talk about the Chargers right now? We're not going to talk about Chargers. We'll wait till tomorrow, and maybe I can bring somebody on from the Chargers. All right. Did not get to the Chargers, but nonetheless, consistently over 350 people in here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. This is not the Eric Crocker show. This is y'all show. You know what I'm saying? I have the platform, and I sit up here and I bring y'all on, and I love hearing y'all thoughts. Whether it's a conspiracy, whatever, it's all intriguing to me, and I think this is a good space for that type of talk. So shout out to everybody in here right now. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah. See, I don't know. Divorce, child support. Yeah, you probably gonna have to pay that. So, but shout out to y'all, man. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all for real from the bottom of my heart. Hope everybody's good. I saw the flames coming in from the jump. Everybody looked like they were feeling good this morning. If you're not, man, hit me. Hit my line. DM me. I'll shoot you my number. Whatever we got to do. Let's talk about it. And again, when I talk about mental health, it's not because I have currently or I've ever gone through it that I know of, but my wife went through it, and it was bad. And I know the one thing that helped my wife through that situation was having somebody to talk to. So if you feel like you ain't got nobody to talk to, man, holla at me. I'll shoot you my number. It's all good. It's all love. And, we can have a conversation. So, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody. Here we go. I see, let's talk. Keep it going. Let's talk about Chargers. No, we're not going to talk about Chargers today, man. We'll be on here for another 30, 45 minutes, and I got stuff to do today. I got shit to do today. All right. Gammon says, bring someone on disrespectful from the Chargers. I don't even know if the Chargers have fans. My guy. I got somebody. Was a Cowboy fan. Now he's a Charger fan. So, but he'll know what's going on, and he's deep in that stuff. So we'll see if my guy Chris wants to come on. But hell yeah. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Peace out, motherfuckers. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Rodgers over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Hold on. Somebody said I missed a super chat. Croc missed super chat. Steve Young. Hold on. Look at that. I like the little, I'm telling you, I like the little Marvel credit cut. Here we go. 46-year-old Brady. Why? 61-year-old Steve Young is available. Hey, the longer this dude plays, again, I've never seen anything like this. 46 years old. 46 years old. That's why his wife is like, dude, like, how long is long enough? I guess not long enough for Brady.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Rodgers over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.